Hello, this is Philipp from imToken, and at imToken, being a wallet, we thought about the future of wallets for this upcoming year. Well, I invite you to read our research report with lots of interesting details, but I also give you a quick summary of what I think is the most interesting, maybe 2 quick points of the report. That is user opinion. What do people actually think about wallets today? What are their expectations? And then second, also, what are wallets building? Like in terms of solutions, how do they attack those issues and how do they build solutions toward those user expectations? Somewhat not surprisingly, over 70% of users, crypto users, told us that they still prefer custodial solutions over wallets because of convenience. So in terms of convenience, they told us the biggest issue with wallets is that trading is not as convenient as with exchanges. I think that's not really surprising, but what really took me by surprise is that almost 40% of surveyed crypto users told us that they still prefer, and that's after last year's incidents with exchanges, they still prefer custodial solutions over wallets in terms of security. And the major issue being they fear being hacked and they fear losing access to their wallet. That's, for example, losing private key. That's a lot, right? And that's a lot for wallets, bringing that big advantage that crypto promises, right? Self-custody. Future where wallets are as convenient and as secure as custodial solutions. There might still be trade-offs, but still we can see a future where that's possible. And that's certainly possible because there is technical solutions and there's technical solutions already today. And I would say there's 3 major categories probably. There's first smart contract wallets, right? The safe wallet is maybe the most prominent. There's lots of others. And the safe wallet, for example, they last year had the biggest year in terms of contract deployments. They are growing. Still, smart contract wallets are overall just 0.1%, something around this number. Of all wallets, right? It's still a small part only, and that makes sense because you need to deploy smart contract, which costs upfront cost. The second one would be MPC Wallets, right? Something new, multi-party computation, which is technically different from smart contract wallets, but from a user perspective, gives very similar features, and more about this in a second. But the third one is what I call base layer innovation. So innovation on a base layer level for accounts. And that is really something like account abstraction for Ethereum. So for example, layer 2s. We interviewed Starkware and we interviewed MetaLab's ZK-Sync team, and they told us about their plans for account abstraction on layer 2. So what they really try to do is bringing a better smart contract logic to layer 2 per default. They do need to work with EVM compatibility, so it's harder to do. Then, for example, Near protocol, which had, how would you say, like smart contracts per default for every account on their blockchain since the beginning, which basically enables every user to have smart wallet features per default on all addresses accounts, right? And Ethereum is trying to do something similar, like to the layer 2s, where they introduce account abstraction. In the end, bring smart contracts to every account. Users get out of it, I would say, again, in terms of convenience and security. In terms of security, it's really, once you have smart wallets, you have built-in logic and you have like multiple keys, multiple addresses being able to control one account, and that gives you a couple of features, right? If you mix and match those, that gives you a couple of features, like in terms of security from the beginning, like day to day, you can set limits. You can set limits in terms of transaction limits, volume or number of transactions per day, time limits. But you can also add two-factor authentication once you lost your account or somebody steals it. You can take it back, right? You can, at worst case, you can freeze an account. Now, in terms of convenience, I would say there's really one interesting feature, which is imagine playing a game on blockchain. Today, like, you would need to assign one transaction every time you interact with a smart contract, claiming tokens, interacting with an NFT, and so on, signing a message. That is not convenient. Convenience is like this Web 2 experience that smart wallets actually give you, where you sign one time per day, for example. Say you tell your smart contract wallet or your smart wallet, this app is able to use, let's say, a limit of 50 USDC today, and can do anything it wants. Somebody else maybe signs transactions, they get bundled, so you don't need to do anything besides signing the transactions one time per day, per app, however you define it. That's a true Web 2 experience, and that's the future. That's it. If you want to read more interesting parts, do read the full report, and see you next time.